All right, everyone, I'm going to be talking today about a particular issue that a lot of you have probably never heard of before, and that is a condition called hyperspadias. Now, chances are a lot of you have never heard of it before or never talked about it before, but it's actually the most common abnormality in males and actually affects 1 in 125 males in the world. So a lot of you are probably asking, well, what actually is hyperspadias? Now, hyperspadias basically is an abnormality in the male penis, where the urethra opening, the place where urine comes out of, is actually in the wrong position. Now, males with hyperspadias, when they're born, generally require some sort of surgery, and this actually occurs quite early in their life. However, later in life, males with hyperspadias actually have an increased risk of things like testicular or prostate cancer, and also have a significantly reduced fertility. So it's actually quite hard for males with hyperspadias to actually conceive children naturally. Now, as I said, this is one of the most common conditions in males and affects 1 in 125 males in the world. But the most alarming aspect of this condition is that in the last 50 years alone, we've actually seen a 50% increase in the number of males being born with hyperspadias. And the large issue around this is actually due to our increased exposure to a wide variety of different chemicals that can harm our fertility and reproduction. So on my slide, I've actually got quite a wide variety of chemicals, and these chemicals can come in a wide variety of sources, from things like plastic bottles or the packaging of food to things like cosmetics or toys that children play with. The most common ones that we see is actually the chemicals sprayed on fruit and vegetables. Now, you might be thinking, okay, well, what does this actually do with anything related to this very common abnormality in males? Well, we actually suspect quite heavily that these chemicals that we're exposed to on a daily basis are actually driving the cause of hyperspadias in the world. But we've actually got a major problem, and that is that there are tens of thousands of chemicals that we are exposed to on a daily basis, and we don't really have the methods to test every single one of them quickly. Now, conventional testing takes 1 to 2 years to actually see whether or not a chemical can potentially cause hyperspadias. But the research that we're conducting at the University of Melbourne and funded by the AXA Research Fund is we're actually creating a whole new technique, a whole new way that we go about testing these chemicals. And ultimately, we can take a 1 to 2 year study to something that's 2 to 3 months. Our primary goal of all of our testing is to try and find what are the chemicals that are causing this major condition in males. And so we start thinking about ways that we can limit them and start to find new alternatives that we can use instead of these hazardous substances. Thank you very much.